Coordinate systems are fundamental to modeling. They provide the spatial context for our work. Max and Viz have a series of coordinate systems that we reference when modeling. They're located here on this drop-down. These are similar in concept to the User Coordinate System of AutoCAD, or UCS, if you're familiar with that. But reference coordinate systems are more sophisticated, because they can change context depending upon which viewport you're looking through. It's really important that you understand each one of the reference coordinate systems so that you can choose the right tool for the job when you're modeling. Each coordinate system gives you different possibilities for transforming objects. I've paired certain coordinate systems together in the following number of videos, and I think this will make it easier to digest. In this first video, I'll talk about world and local. But before we dive in, I'll choose the Select and Move tool. Then I'll select World. Now I'll go to the Rotate tool, and notice that it immediately went back to View, which is the default coordinate system at the top of this list. I'll choose another system randomly, and then go to Scale, and I'll choose another one randomly. Notice that each one of the transforms maintains a different reference coordinate system. I'll go back to View for Scale and Rotate. And then go back to Move, and the World system appears again in the drop-down. Okay, the World coordinate system is the easiest one to understand because it never changes. I'll select this teapot and take a look at its transform gizmo. The positive direction of the x-axis is to the right, the y-axis goes up on the screen, and the z-axis comes out of the screen at us. This matches up perfectly with this tripod over here, which represents world space. It also coincides with the orientation of the home grid. If I activate different viewports by right-clicking on them, observe that the transform gizmo never changes its orientation. It's always fixed to world space. It will always match the tripod down here in the lower left-hand corner of each viewport. So you'll never get lost when you're using world space. The up direction, or positive z-axis, is away from the tabletop, up, above it. And that's true in every viewport. Now we'll go to local, and this is more interesting. The local system immediately reoriented the transform gizmo, and now it matches up with the local coordinate system of the teapot. The pivot point of this object determines that direction. Now I can transform the teapot according to that coordinate system. I can slide it along its local x-axis, which is in the plane of the handle and spout. That's not possible in the world system. So this is a convenient way of moving an object along its own coordinate system. If I activate the different viewports, you'll observe that, again, the transform gizmo never changes. It remains fixed to the local space of the object. So what happens if we rotate the teapot? Let's take a look. I'll go to Select and Rotate, and we go back to the View system. That's okay. I'll just rotate the teapot some arbitrary distance, and then switch back to Move. And you'll see now that the local system has rotated, and it remains parallel to the handle spout axis here of the teapot. Remember, the pivot point of the object and its orientation determines what the local system will show us.